Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make a homemade springtail culture for completely free, just using regular household materials as well as things you can find outside. Now let's get into the video. So the first things you're going to need to be able to bring some springtails are deli cups. You only really need one, but for my example, I'm going to be using two. You can find deli cups pretty much anywhere. I got mine when I had to pick up my food from a restaurant, as they were what was being used to hold my sauces. Alright, for the next step, you'll have to go ahead and go outside. So now what we're going to do is look for a rock. Any rock with soil underneath will work. Once you find a rock, go ahead and flip it over. What we are looking for is any sign with some springtails. To see any springtails, you have to look very close. Keep in mind that adult springtails are much easier to see than juveniles. Also, make sure you're patient, because it could take a little bit to notice the springtails in the soil. And you may need to try multiple spots and locations as well. And there's one now. Once you see one, you can go ahead and assume there are many more in the soil, which means it's now time to move on to the next step. Now what you're going to do is scoop up some of that soil where you saw the springtails and place that into your deli cup. You don't need much, just get a thin layer of soil from the top where you saw the springtails. I'm now going to find another location and do it again with my second deli cup. I'll see you again once we're back inside. Alright, now that we're finally back inside, we can now prepare them. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to go and pop the lid off of the first one. Then we are going to want to get the dirt nice and flat. So to do that, we'll go spray it with a little bit of water and then pat it down. It should only take 3 or so sprays from a spray bottle, as you do not want the soil to be wet, just damp. Now what we're going to want to do is to pat it down. Alright, now we're going to want to get some nutritional yeast. Any old generic brand will work. Now we're going to take a small pinch of yeast and put it into the deli cup. Then we will go ahead and spray it one more time, just enough to get the yeast wet. Finally, you can put the lid back on. I'm now going to do this again with my second deli cup. Once I'm done with this, we will check back in a month to see how much the population has grown. So now it's been a little bit over a month, and all I've done is replace the yeast and spray down the dirt once in a while. We can now check in on the population. As soon as I open it, you can see there are springtails that we could not see before. This is because they were all still very young when we collected the dirt, but now they are adults and are able to reproduce. Now we'll move on to the second batch. This one has quite a few more springtails than the first one. I believe this is because I was giving them much more yeast than I was the previous one. Overall, I would say this is a great way to start a springtail culture if you are unable to go out and buy one yourself. You just have to be willing to give it some time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.